And I am back. Okay, there we go. I am back, and I am back actually quite a bit later than I thought I was going to be. So I left you guys and then went and had a little bit of Christmas fun. So I went to a Christmas open house, made a trip to Costco, got a creme brulee latte at Starbucks. I have a local coffee shop here that I really love, but by the time I did it, it was too late they had already closed. So I decided to do Starbucks instead. And I'm not a huge drinker of sweet things, so I usually do just 2 pumps instead of the 4 that's in a grande usually. Plus, I guess it saves calories too, but I'm thinking about going to 1. So that's one thing. If you kind of like the flavor of the coffee, but it's too sweet for you, that's a good tip, is to find out how many pumps are in what you normally like, and then have it, or even I have done just 1 out of the 4 before, depending on it. But it was a lovely creme brulee latte. Hey, Tammy. No, you did not miss me. I was just having a little Christmas fun this afternoon. And then I came back and I had a couple things to do. One was to do a little bit of prep to the page that I'm going to work on. And then I also printed some more pictures. So I printed the pictures from yesterday because we're going to do this video and come back and do this one. Hey, Moira. Hey, Moira, thanks for the shout out in your video earlier today. I think it was today's video. That was sweet. I enjoyed watching it. So for those of you who haven't, Moira has a channel. Go look at it, because she has a fantastic, it's really fun to watch her process and the things that she's doing. And it's been fun starting to watch your book come together, or, to be capturing those stories. So I printed some photos, got some photos done with what I did today, popped some things in. I'm going to flip through this. I got that little 2x2 page arranged and ready to go, because that's something I'll do later this week. So what I'm working with today, or for this page, for page 8, which was Thursday, and once I do the next one, we're going to be totally caught up, so I won't have to do any more. It'll just be the regular day by day process. But I'm working with all the colors, basically. I don't really have aqua in this layout, but it's everything but aqua. So when I did my sequin mix, and this was that last fun page we did earlier today, which is just a partial 4x6. But when I did my sequin mix, and there are lots of places you can get sequin mixes, Spiegelmom Scraps being one of them. But I have so many, I just kind of do my own. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's greens, reds, some like royal, because I have navy in here, white, and then I did like this little star here. That's in a, I don't have a mix of that, but it's in another mix of colors, and I just dumped them out and pulled them out. And then last year when I was doing this, and this is a very bad job of my fuse tool, but after I messed this up the second time, I just decided I was going to work with it. But when I did this last year, everything was sinking to the bottom. So I now do that in half. Somebody suggested that, and I don't remember who it was anymore, but I now do that if I do these long ones. Sometimes I'll put paper in these. Sometimes I'll do a sequin mix. So I'm thinking I don't really have to think too hard about colors here, because I already have kind of colors dictated. I did pick out this alpha because I'm thinking I want to use this 8. I'd like a little more, thank you, Moira. Oh, hi, Nancy. Good to see you back. I was thinking I wanted something a little bit different, because I've been using a lot of label kind of numbers, and I think it's time to use something else. So I've got this alpha from the Paper Studio, which is Hobby Lobby, and thinking about using that. And then I'm thinking about this kind of spot here, and I grabbed the green paper here because I have this photo, which is everything I bought when I was on my errands on Thursday. Some of this Christmas like, some of it not. Notice the Santa kisses there. And then my boyfriend was so sick on Thursday, I was worried about his eating habits. So I pulled a bunch of meals out of the freezer that I always make extra. And so I pulled a bunch of those out, labeled them for him, and grabbed some tortillas for him because one of them was a Santa Fe chicken thing that he needed either lettuce or tortillas. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to use the green on both of these papers here. So I'm just going to cut 4x4 squares here right away because I think I'm pretty sure this is what I'm going to use. Now this, I think I'll keep because that really fits perfectly in that size. And I'm sure I'll use at least one more of these. Although last year, I think I only used like one of those. Oftentimes that's one of my favorite, that 4x4 is one of my favorite configurations just because I do like a good square photo. I do post to Instagram. I think it's, I'm trying to think what my Instagram handle is. I don't even remember, you guys. That's bad. If I think of it later, I'll post it in the comments of the video if you're interested. Don't feel obligated. So what I'm going to do starting out is, oops, I always forget these are on the side. I'll just attach these, and my ATG is almost, oh, well, it's going to be done now. There we go. So anyway, when it gets to the end of this, like this, a lot of times it starts really misbehaving. At least that's what I found. And my ATG is, oh gosh, I think it's from 2011. I'm almost positive. So it's over 10 years old and it gets a lot of use. Oh goodness. It's just being sassy. But those of you who own ATGs know that's part of owning an ATG. It's a love-hate relationship with it. And sometimes I don't know what it is with my photo printer. It doesn't always print properly. And I don't know what it is. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's probably the user and how she's using Photoshop, but I would never confess to that. And then I'll just do this one on the back of this one. And then that'll be easy to figure out. So, anyway, it's still raining here. It's crazy. It was raining a lot when I was out and about. It was not actually the snowy beauty that it was yesterday. And I'm afraid any snowy beauty we have is, oh gosh, it was more than half gone when I went outside earlier today. So I'm sure now it's even more than that. But we have Christmas lights, so what could be bad about that, right? All right. So I like the green here, that just because there's that bright pink shirt there and there's a lot of red in the bottom photo. So I think that's a nice foil. Now, I have these old Martha Stewart doilies that are ages old. And I'm thinking I might like to use one in the book here. And I like them both. So I think either of those is a good choice. And then maybe one of these house stickers, because this is kind of a homey, things I did around the house. I vacuumed and did a little bit of cleaning yesterday. So let me see if I can get one of these to work. And since I don't have a lot of turquoise represented here, maybe this one. I'm liking the idea of this, but I'm thinking, how's that 8 coming in here if I'm doing that? It's a lot of stuff. Maybe this is too open. I also think maybe that's not standing out enough. I also do have just kind of plain white doilies as well. These are from Michaels from Valentine's Day. again, years ago. There's no date on this, but those things are probably 7 or 8 years ago. Okay, so that could work better, but now I'm thinking I want different color in there as I'm looking at this, which maybe means that I want to do a different, there we go, maybe like that. Okay, so kind of liking that collage. Feeling like it might need something else there though, and I'm not quite sure what that something else is. I could bring over some of my sequins though. I could definitely do that. I don't think I need green, and I have red there, so maybe some blue ones. Was that enough, or do I still want something behind there? Thinking that. Tammy, what are you liking? Sorry, I missed that because I didn't look up. Sometimes that's hard if I'm not looking up, so sorry you guys, I don't always catch stuff. Okay, so kind of liking this. Feeling like I almost might want something behind. By the way, you guys, these are called lockups containers, and I bought these at oh gosh, I bought these at a home store. Oh, thanks, Tammy. But you can get you can get these at Michael's. You can get them at, I bought these at Container Store now that I think about it. You can get those lots of places. So thinking about going to, like, do I have any blue labels here? Or I could bring in like blue labels. I have blue labels, I know that. I was thinking maybe I could bring in a little bit of, here's blue labels. I don't know, remember this doesn't seem right. What I really want is like a round navy one, or round blue of some kind. So let me go to my LA Studio labels. I think I'm thinking more round again. Let's see what we can find. Maybe bring out those puffies. There's some navy. There's little puffies here too. With presents, there's a little flower here. That might work. So looking for navy. Do I have any navy, and what do I have left? I don't think I have any of the round ones left in that aqua, and that's the last bit of aqua that I have. Yeah, I have just a tiny bit left here. So well, let's see. Will this be enough? And this I can always change, like how I have that sitting on there. Okay, so let's get this down. So then I won't be moving it so much. Okay, so that's down. Then what if I do that somehow? And then I could just put the date underneath too. Actually, that feels, I like that. I needed a little bit of that blue behind there. I could also layer, I mean, I've done this before, where if it doesn't feel like enough, I just build up other label layers. This one's probably a little high. I could go underneath this one if it still works. We'll see. Sometimes when you get this down, these doilies are pretty delicate here, but maybe this might work. Let's see. I actually think I like that. So then let's get this down. And I did learn earlier today that this chipboard does have a liner. There we go. So we'll take that off so it doesn't just fall off. And then I think I'll cover that side there. Bring that in, bring the 8 in there. And that blue one is a little crooked. So we're gonna, oh, all right. I had 2 layers of doily. I do like to usually use 2 layers of doily because otherwise I feel like you can see too much through it. Okay, we'll just deal with it that way. And then the question is, do I still want to do a little bit of these doily, these sequins? Moira, I think you actually inspired me because you were using sequins on your wreath. I just realized that. I'm like, actually, I think Moira inspired me to do this. Isn't that funny? I was thinking about using the doily and then just that shape, then I went to doily myself. Not a bad thing to be inspired by somebody who does such beautiful work. Most definitely. Okay, so I'm going to use my little jewel not enamel dots, jewel, let me tell you what these are called. Glue dots. Thank you, glue dots. I really want to use that one there to hide that corner a little bit, and I'm going to. These are nice because they're small, and I don't know. I've tried lots of different things to keep enamel dots sequins from popping off, and I haven't had a lot of success. So I use these more often than anything else. Yeah, I do use, sometimes when it just isn't big enough, I'll use the 2 labels. Like if I don't have enough room to journal, that's where that really comes from. I'll try to get 2 labels in. Okay, so we have that, and now I'm thinking, I have these 2 asterisks here. Do I want to do anything with those, or does it just make the layout look unbalanced? That one probably has to go up there. Oh, I actually kind of like it. And then if I shift this one up and kind of put it underneath there a little bit, it, kind of takes the place of those. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then, so down here I don't have anything. So I'm thinking maybe I don't want anything more because that is a lot of space being taken up there. But is there something in, these are pretty big for that. Here and Now could probably work. Let's see. And it is blue, so that's kind of nice. That would bring some blue down here again. So that might work. And then let me look and see what's these strips here. Like Counting Down the Days would work. Let's see, Merry Moment, Christmas Party, Christmas Eve. Not we had so much fun. Sorry guys, this takes a little bit to, it's like, where's the ones about all the craziness that's going? There's one that says only a week to go and almost forgot this. Now that's real life. So, well, Moira, you should know when you inspire other people. Moira just said thank you. But really, seriously, you should know when you inspire other people. And it's stuff like I just realized, oh wait, I think I was inspired by that because I saw Moira using some sequins on a wreath shape this morning. Okay, so we've got that. Oh my gosh, that is so crooked, it's not even funny. Let's try that again. I'm also trying not to rip my photograph. Okay, there we go, here and now. I'm just going to leave this as that is on this side. So then I have this side to do because that now this is the other piece of it that I did. So yeah, I'm looking for, I do like, there's a little bit of chaos here. I kind of like that one to put up on top of that. It's black, but I could do that. We'll see. And then I could continue the house theme over here because I have stickers that kind of work. And I could also do the doily as well. So let's see. Let's grab the, oh, and actually, let's see how a red doily would work over here because I have red doilies. I'm not loving that on the red doily. Let's try white. I also could go back to those other doilies and see if that would work, but I think I'm going to maintain, let's see, let me try one that's not as thick to see if I can just get two off. There we go. The other thing I'll sometimes do, by the way, is do like a partial doily and then do that, like that. Let's see how that looks. Maybe I'll end up doing that in the end. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. And the chipboard, let's see, does the chipboard have, the chipboard does, oh, it has a blue, the colors are reversed from what this is, so I don't want the colors to be the same. I think this one may only be a single layer, but either way it's going to work. So let's do that. We'll add these in. I do need some dimension here. I know I've said I don't use a ton of it in this project, but I am going to use some at least. Feels like I'm not getting things on straight tonight. I have had about half a glass of wine while I was working on printing pictures and things, but that should not make it this bad. Now we definitely know I have 2 layers because it's coming up. That's okay. All right, there we go. So a little bit of dimension. Is that, thinking, is that too much? I could go back to using sequins here too, like adding blue sequins. They don't want to come out now. I keep mine in like trays that you would keep hardware and stuff in. Oh, and then on the other one, I did have the red too, didn't I? I used the red. So maybe, let's see what, I need my little sequin. I have a little thing, but the gluey end of my sequin thing is gone. So I need a new little sequin picker thing, to use the technical term for what that is. Oh my goodness. I was just thinking about sequins, and Rachel and I, when we were doing Stash Bash, decided to do sequins one time, to use up sequins. She loves sequins. I like sequins. I probably don't use them as much as I could because I have lots of them, but Rachel did use them fairly often. And so we decided to do sequins. And in the process, I'm not a swearing person, but if I had been, I would have been. Rachel was like, this is crazy. Why did we decide to do this? And we swore we would never do sequins again. So that's a little happy memory. I miss her, and I miss her, just her self-deprecating humor, and just how funny she was, actually, just in general. Okay, I think that's what we'll do, is I'll add the blue sequins like this. Anyway, oh my gosh, thinking about that, I did a layout where I made, I think I stitched 4 pockets into a page protector, and then did a layout over the top of that. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Never, never, never again. But I used a lot of sequins. I mean, that part of the goal was met. All right, so I'm trying to kind of put these down and not kind of get them in the same place, kind of like different heights and that kind of stuff. Okay, and then we'll just do these up here. Okay, so I think that card is done. I'm good with that. And now that I look at it, I have those greeny tops up there. I do have a sequin that is almost that color. Maybe we'll make this a 3 sequin cluster. Oh. There we go. Years ago at like a scrapbook convention, I got packs of sequins. Cynthia, yeah. She was an awesome lady. Okay, one more, and then you don't have to watch me glue this down anymore. Part of the joy and penalty of lives, you get to hear me nattering on, aka rambling on, which was one of Rachel's favorite terms. Okay, let's get that down. I'm going to put this back in here, and I do have a little bit left. If I don't use this up this year, I'll try to do that probably in another one of these, or sometimes I'll do it in a 3x4 pocket. But if I don't, I just store this in with my Christmas stuff. Although I also could just put them up ahead. So I'm trying to think. These days are a little bit of chaos. So maybe I will use that. There's black roofs down here. And just a little bit there, not a ton. Just trying to see if there's anything else that I could use. I do have one that says dinner, Christmas dinner, but I could change that to just dinner. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay. So let's pop these in, and then this one will be done. So I actually did get the aqua color in on both sides, just in some different ways. And I like how that turned out. Okay. So let me get some of this out of your way so you don't have to look at all this and try to see the layout. So there's the layout with with my fuse tool. You can, if you don't have a fuse tool, you can sew, or you can use washi tape. I've closed this up with washi tape before as well. I just wrapped it around both sides. So that's another way that you can solve that if you don't have a fuse tool and you want to do a sequin pocket. I think it's a little bit easier if you do it on a pocket that sits with an opening on top. Like the 4-ups of these have the tops of the pockets is where you put the sequins in. So I've done like the sequins in one of the pockets and just put washi over the top of that in my earlier books before I had the fuse tool. And that worked. And I do own a sewing machine. Not that I've used it much lately. I used to sew more on my layouts. I haven't done that in ages. So anyways, let me grab the book and you can see how that lays in now. And I like the fact that we have a little bit of stuff peeking out from behind now. So there's that. Now, I am going to turn this off and go to the next video. So we'll do kind of what we've done a couple of times, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use this December here or not. Again, I keep trying to use it and it doesn't work because I'm just seeing that through there and I'm not loving that so much. So what I'm going to do is kind of hold out, design around it, see what it looks like on the next page, which will be this snow page, and then we'll see, you know, if I want to keep it. So I'm going to keep this out. I'm going to pull these two things out, and then we are going to work on the next page. But I'm going to shut down this video and start another one like I always do. So for those people who are going one day at a time along with the process, there's a lot of people who do follow up, and everybody's used to me doing one at a time. So that's what I'm going to do. So you guys, I am just going to go right to it. I'm not going to take a break or anything. So I'll kind of talk a little bit before I start the next one. All right. I'll see you guys in a few minutes.